So you got 100.
Or a little kid, I should say.
See? Can't zoom in.
Do you have it?
Every single time.
Every class? That's what's up.
It depends on your instructor,
We
but
get to see
yes,
the
because,
inside of the cat on that
because,
one, right?
yeah. So you'll get these cats in AMP too, not necessarily the one you dissected. Okay. So looking at the eye, here we have the cornea, and then right here where the muscles are attached is the sclera. Now this does not, they have cut the optic nerve, but in the back right here will be the optic nerve. Cutting, now everybody's camera is gonna go way back there.
Yep.
I know.
Get sprayed, huh? Yeah, you can get
Yep.
sprayed. Nancy. She's like, I'm back.
She does, right?
So this is Weber's humor, right?
Yes, the vitreous humor is coming out. Can we ask you the question about vitreous humor? No, because I can't have it.
Okay, that's awesome.
Okay. So right here is the lens, right? Again, the inside, the mushroom part is the ciliary body, the cornea. Looking at it, right here, we have the vitreous humor.
He wasn't blind.
The what?
He wasn't blind.
No, this one wasn't blind. Right here, this very thin layer is the retina. Right? The black-blue layer is the choroid. And then, of course, the sclera. So the three tonics, the fibrous tonic sclera, the vascular tonic, the choroid, and then the neural tonic, which is the retina. Looking at the brain, right here is the vermis that connects the cerebellum. The whole thing is the cerebellum. Longitudinal fissure. If I turn it over, right here, again is the olfactory bulb, the olfactory tracts, optic chiasma, the optic nerves. You're not, optic tracts. You're not going to be able to see the optic nerves on here. Optic chiasma, optic tracts. The first bump is the pons, and the second one is the medulla oblongata. And the beautiful corpora quadra gemini in the back. Looking at the half brain, here's the dura mater. Right there is the optic nerve. Right here will be the optic chiasma. Right up here is the corpus callosum. Now, I'm not going to show you the ventricles on here because, I have to open it up and actually show it. So I'm not even going to go over it. Right there will be the corpus callosum. Right here, we have the thalamus. Right here is the pineal gland of the epithalamus. The front, the hypothalamus. Right there is the corpora quadra gemini. Here is the arbor vitae. Again, the first bump is the pons, and the second one is the medulla oblongata. That's it. One time this way for people who are standing here, and then now I'm going to turn it around and do it the other way because holding it up is not going to do it. Okay, right here is the gastrocnemius, the Achilles tendon. Under the gastrocnemius is the soleus. Again, on the lateral aspect, we have the bicep femoris. On the medial aspect, we have the semitendinosus. Coming up in the cat, the smaller muscle is the gluteus maximus. This is the gluteus medius.
Sorry.
It's okay. Coming up here, we have the latissimus dorsi, right? Function, shoulder extension. Spinotrapezius, acromiotrapezius, clavicular trapezius. Right here, we have the spinal deltoid. On the top, right in here, we have the clavicular deltoid. Right here is the tricep, the lateral head, the long head, and then the medial head. Okay? Just turn it around and go over the other side. Okay, right here, guys, you gotta let your classmates see this. Right here is the gastrocnemius, and there it is the soleus. Right here is the Achilles tendon. On the lateral aspect, we have the bicep femoris. In the medial aspect, we have the semitendinosus. Right here is the gluteus maximus. The big one is the gluteus medius. Looking right up here, this huge one is the latissimus dorsi. Right here is the spinotrapezius, the acromiotrapezius, and then the clavicular trapezius. Right here is the spinal deltoid, and right up here is the clavicular deltoid. The tricep, the lateral head of the tricep, the long head of the tricep, and then the medial head of the tricep. Turning. Set. Again, the muscle that's close to the groin is the gracilis, and this is the sartorius. If we open the gracilis up, the very first big huge muscle you see is the semimembranosus. The next big muscle right here is the adductor magnus or adductor femoris. The next one is the adductor longus. The pectineus is way up there. Opening the sartorius, on the medial aspect, we have the vastus medialis. The big muscle in the middle is the rectus femoris, right? On the lateral aspect, we have the vastus lateralis, and then right here will be the tensor fasciolata. So going from the lateral, tensor fasciolata, vastus lateralis, rectus femoris, vastus medialis. They're all under the sartorius. Looking at the stomach, you have the external oblique, pull it back. Right here will be the internal oblique. Right here is the transverse abdominis, and then the rectus abdominis. Coming up, we have the xiphohumerales, the pec minor, the pec major, and then pecto antebrachialis. All of that is the sternum, is the origin. Okay? Looking right in here is the bicep, the tricep in the back, the bicep in the front. Looking right in here, we have the sartorius, and then, well,
Sartorius.
I'm sorry, serratus. Thank you. We have the serratus anterior, and then this is messed up, but right here will be the scalus muscle.
Many kids How many kids will we have?
I think there are 3 or 4. I don't remember. Right, again, looking at the leg, the medial aspect, we have the gracilis, the lateral aspect, the sartorius. You open up the very first big muscle under the gracilis. This is the semimembranosus. The next big muscle is the adductor magnus or adductor femoris. The next muscle is the adductor longus. Opening the sartorius. The very first muscle is the tensor fascial lata. The next one is the vastus lateralis. Right here we have the rectus femoris and then the vastus medialis. Looking at the abdominal muscle, we have the external oblique. Back here, the internal oblique. Right in here, we have the transverse abdominis and then the rectus abdominis. Looking at the pec group, the very first one is xiphohumerales. The second one is the pectoralis minor. The third one is the pectoralis major, and then pecto antebrachialis. Okay, right here we have the serratus anterior, and we have the bicep right on the inside. And that covers the kitty. To look at, like, you know, cat separately and human, there's a little bit of a difference. Here, gastrocnemius, soleus right under it, Achilles tendon, exactly like the cat. Here, tibialis anterior, just like the cat, right next to the tibia. Like I said, these two are different in the human, but other than that, the way these muscles are sitting, on the anterior aspect or on the medial aspect beside the gracilis and sartorius are exactly the same. But the cat muscles are the closest to the human.
Hi.
So,
Hello.
No.
Hi. Classmate.
Do we need our gloves and goggles
Table
for the
mate.
final?
Table
Say
mate.
that?
Prison mate. Prison mate. Inmates.
Oh.